Good morning, friends. I am Rohit Kamble. Now will start our syllabus. The first syllabus chapter is the survey topics. In the survey topics, the first chapter, Colonialism and Postcolonism. Colonialism means what? First of all, you know the definition of colonialism. The policy and practice of power in extending control over weaker people or areas. Means here, what is the meaning of the definition? There is a policy or practice that extend control over a weaker people or areas. Areas mean territory or provisional, you can say. Means there is some types of colonialism. There are 4 types of colonialism. Settler colonialism involves a large scale migration often motivated by religious, political or economic reason, purpose staying and cultivate the land. Means here first types of the colonialism, settler colonialism means here large scale opposite meaning of the immigration upon motivated by. What is the motive of that migration? Means first motive of the migration here is a religious, political or economic reason. Means here 3 reasons for the colonialism. Means first of all the religious, we want to improve or progress or increase your religious power, political power or economic power for the. And what is the purpose here? Means you have to stable your political, economic power and religious power in that particular country or region. Means here is purpose is clear, staying and cultivating the land. And second one, exploitation colonism. Exploitation colonism means you have to clear about the means what is the exploitations. Means here we have to control or suppress the people for the focus of the natural resource, use of the natural resource or population as a labor. Means use of the population for the labor, means for the work, and political and economic administration. Means here is also purpose clear. Means use of the means suppress the or forced people to work. If you see the history of Indian colonism, you can see that there is so many British people forced farmers to take a specific crops for their purpose, economic purpose. Means here political purpose, economics and labor, use of the labor for their colonialism and administration. And third one is the surrogate colonism, involves a settlement project supported by a colonial power. Surrogate mother, that like a surrogate colonism. Means surrogate colonism involves a settlement project supported by colonial power in which most of the settlers do not come from the same ethnic group as the ruling powers. Suppose is a bishop, there is some of the power given to the bishop and there is a remaining power given to the British or whatever there is people, means colonizer. Whose colonizer power means there is a 50% power to give to the colonizers. Means here is a which country is a colonizer? There is a 4 countries, you can say there is a colonizer. English means the British people, Portuguese, Dutch, English, French, Portuguese, Dutch. There is 4 people here. British here colonizing our India. Means surrogate, there is a half of the power. Suppose Siraj-ud-Dowla in you can say in the Pachim Bengal, Western Bengal, there is the control over. There is some of the political power they can take on and then they over the control over the region. So that is surrogate, means half of the power of the political power they can take it easily or suppress the people. There is a surrogate colonialism. And the fourth is the internal colonialism. Means colonialism in the within that country or state wise. Suppose if the now is going on, there is a Maharashtra state, Uttar Pradesh, whatever, there is a difference between the colonialism. Is a notion of unseen structural power between areas of the states. There is some regional power. See, within colonialism, there is internal colonialism. The source of exploitations comes from within the state. Means, suppose there is a power. Within that power, the some of the people also suppress the people or control the people. There is a lot of purpose. So there is four types of colonialism, and the fourth one is the internal colonialism. Notion of uneven structural power. I mean, their area is different. There's areas big or small, or the source of explorations. There is a suppose there is a example. Natural source is so lot of in that particular area. So use of that natural resources and use of the state power within their political power. Now there are four common characteristics of colonialism. Means here political and legal domination over an alliance society. Means foreign people control over there is a political and legal domination to that particular region. Suppose the British people control over our Indian before the independence. Political power and legal means there is a first characteristic of the colonialism is that is a political and legal domination over the people other country, and the second one is the relations of economic and political dependence. Means that country or that region will be depend our relations of economic and politics. Means which type of the relations? Economic relations, and political depends the first of the there is a if you know some of the people in our before the independence, some of the kings they take power or soldiers power to the survival their state or kingdom use of the British soldier for their own country. And third one is exploitation between empowered powers and the colony. Means exploitation between the power specific power, which type of the what is the important of that exploitation. And in colonialism there is main part of the colonialism. Exploitation is the main big aspect or important aspect in the colonialism. And the colony not only natural resources but use of the colony power of the people or population of the people used for the labor. And fourth one is the racial or cultural inequality. White people, black people, all of you know that, but there is a racial differences. So our Indian race is different. British people is black people race is all different. The cultural inequality. So our culture is different, Western culture is different. Suppose that particular people, or British people, or Portuguese, Dutch, French, that particular people, they dominant people to you have to use or you have to behave our religious, not only your means there is a Christian people in the before the independence. Suppose now some district in our now there is some converted Christian people in our India also. So means there is a cultural inequality. There is a cultural difference between that people also. Suppose British culture or Indian culture, there is a black people culture also different. So here there is a relations or cultures also different. Racials is a big factor. White people, black people, Indian people, or cultural. There is a culture is also different from the other people. These are four common features or characteristics you can find in our post-colonial literature. What is the use of the post-colonial literature? Means these types of the colonialism and characteristics or features we can find in our poetry, fiction, drama, novel, whatever there is types of the literature, poetry you can find in poetry. So all these types of the features or types of the colonialism you can find your means our post-colonial literature. Now in the post-colonial literature we can find that particular aspect of the colonialism in a post-colonial literature. Means colonialism before the independence that particular country, that's mean colonialism, and post-colonial means after the independence that particular country's what is the progress of that country. what is the influence of the colonialism in post-colonialism literature also. Not only literature, also people. There is also important of the literary person. Suppose if you see the Victorian literature, that Victorian literature, Charles Dickens brings out or writing about the only that particular era. Means here also post-colonial literature we can find that suppose there's a Rohinton mystery, family matters novel we can study this year, that Rohinton mystery talking about the Mumbai's problems, family matters, not only the problems of the that particular family problems. The family means whole nation's problems. I mean, Rohinton mystery is a diasporic writer. Now he lived in Canada. Means here some of the people they live their own country and there is a problem of the colonialism in now they are struggling. So here is some aspect of the we can see the poetry. Suppose the American poetry, black poetry. So we can find these types of the features or characteristics in their literature. So these common features or types of the colonialism we can see in a poetry, novel, drama. Suppose the Tara, there is a suppression of the woman also, suppressions of the labor people also. What type of the suppression also, how to control gents to the ladies. Means there is some Tara drama we can find that Mahesh Dattani what type of the people are lived in that particular area. So there is some also traditional problems. Means here we can see there is a features and types in our particular syllabus. Now the first survey topics we can see just colonialism. Means what is a colonialism? Just to revise that, what is it? Colonialism means the policy and practice of power in extending control over weaker people or areas. Means that is which policy, the policy or practice of the power extending control over the weaker people or areas. Not only control the people, also control the areas. And there is a 4 types of the colonialism. Settler colonism, first one. Second is exploitation colonism. Third one is surrogate colonism. And fourth one the internal colonism. And there are four common features or characteristics in the colonialism: political, illegal, legal domination over the allied society. Second common features: relations of economics and political dependence. And third one, exploitation of between empowered powers and the colony, racial and cultural inequality. So means here we can stop our today's lecture. If you have any problem you can call me, and there is some aspect of the colonism we can find or we can search in our post-colonial literature. Whatever there is problems or any difficulty, if you read it in the whole colonialism survey topics, there is a one part of colonialism and post-colonialism. Just this period or this video we can only talk about the colonialism. You have to think about it. Only we are talking about the colonialism, not only post-colonialism. Not only talking, just we are talking about the colonialism. And after the second lecture, we will talk about the post-colonialism. Means what is post-colonialism? And there is so many aspects of the post-colonialism. Next, we can see what is the post-colonialism, and there is some definitions. There is a types of the post-colonialism. What is the influence of the post-colonialism to the what is the influence of the colonialism to the post-colonialism? There are some features. There is some writers. There is a power. There is some impact or effort. What is the effort to remove the colonialism? What is the power of that particular nations? So many aspects we can see after the next video. So thank you friends, and I hope that you can see this video, and if you have any problem you can ask whatever their problems. In group you can ask me some questions about if you do not understand. So thank you. Next lecture or next video we can see we will talk about the post colonialism. Thank you.